Hello, my spooky friends. I hope you're having a fun day today. I have just the kitchen left that I have not shown you yet. It's always a lot of work getting everything clean and getting everything lit. Norm does try to help me as much as possible. So I hope you've enjoyed our previous Halloween videos. I'm not real wild when it comes to scary stuff. I don't have bright lights on in here. I do have some things lit with little battery votives, and that's the way I like Halloween items, if I can light them up. That's exciting, but we've got a lot of fun vintage kitchen dishes, pots and pans, things like that I'm excited to show you too. Thanks so much for being here today. We sure appreciate you all. And your very, very sweet comments. You're very, very kind to us. We can't thank you enough. I'll start over here in the corner and show you that I do have some more pumpkins lit up. I have lots of odd sizes and was happy that I could find a few that would work on this sweet little vintage metal shelf. And I got a new green clock here. I don't recall if I did show you that yet or not. There is a little wear on the silver at the top there, but overall it was in pretty nice condition and really inexpensive. It was under $20. I think it's pretty cute. It's by West Clocks, and that one's kind of Halloween like. I love those, wrought iron look. So I found all of these pumpkins over the last 4 years, 5 years, something like that. Really enjoy them. I have shared with you that I found this last year at a church thrift store called Bethesda Thrift in Minnetonka, Minnesota. It was probably $9.99. I can't remember for sure, but it was, I think Norm and I also had our senior discount that day of 25%. So that helped a lot. It's just a very old-fashioned jack-o'-lantern look, which we thought was pretty neat and excellent condition. So I was happy to find that. And I've shared this goofy hobbyist piece that is an onion, but it's so Halloween-like. I just saw one yesterday at Wild Vintage Collective. We stopped there again to snoop around. That was painted differently, more like an onion. So I'm pretty sure it's hobbyist because it was also cute, but expensive. So I did thrift this at a thrift store quite a few years ago. I did thrift this cute vintage plastic little serving dish too a couple years back. And this one I just found this year. It's not a hobbyist piece. It is commercial because of a warning label on the bottom of it that would have to do with candles, I'm sure. But it's a very, very heavy ceramic piece. I wish it wasn't wide open in the back like that, but so many of them are. My favorite, of course, are the ones that have a cover on them like that. I love those. So I decided this year it would be very fun to fill lots of apothecaries or candy dishes that would be considered more of a canister. So I've been looking for them. I've found some new ones. I believe I just found this one in the back that has candy corn mixed with peanuts in it. because that tastes like a salted nut roll. I think I may have found this last winter. It's just such a cute little one. I've seen several of them at the Goodwill, but decided to just have one. I don't remember when I found this sweet one. I think it was last winter when I was looking for candy jars for Christmas. I love to do that for Christmas too. So that's why I got to thinking, wow, Halloween's all about candy. So maybe it would be fun to do this year. So I think I had this one in the front with M&Ms in it. We buy dark chocolate ones because that's what we like, and I sort them out. I only got rid of the red and the green and the blue. So that's what you're left with, which is very fun for Halloween and fall. And I think that might be new in the back, that I really wanted to go get some of the peanut butter kisses. I just love that look for Halloween. And I did find this one just yesterday at Wild Vintage Collective. I have some very flavorful pretzels in there that are hard to resist. Kind of garlicky, but I like them. And I just found this recently. I could not believe how sweet this was. There's a very nice place, Bell Tower in Spicer, Minnesota. We have videoed that very nice shop. I think we put out 2 videos on it. But isn't that cool? So I asked Norm to go get something that he loves, the licorice. But these are Jelly Belly. Jelly Belly jelly beans are good quality and very, very tasty. I like cinnamon ones. And I've had this for quite a while. Yeah, I thrifted that too quite a few years ago. Those are little individual wrapped ginger hard candy pieces, real ginger. And these are actually hotter. They have a mild one, or original it might be called. I had never purchased them before, but boy, those are hot. Ooh, I didn't expect that. So we can go look on the other side too. I love finding any of these Hallmark, typically little votives. Love those. So you've seen our old lucite owl, one of them. I've saved out of our very big collection that we sold most of. I saved all the owls. I didn't want to part with them. So I do have a variety in colors and patterns. I've had these napkins for years. They're getting down. Aren't they cute? Yep. Napkins are fun. So we might as well finish looking at the other side over here. I have 2 more very fun cat and jack-o'-lantern votives. I'm always thrilled when I find them. They're pretty expensive in antique shops. But yeah, I can find them for $99, $1.49, and I've pretty much gotten all of these quite a few years ago, but I found some fall and Thanksgiving ones this year, and they were only like 49 cents up north at a I'm trying to think. Well, it's a thrift store up north in the St. Cloud area. Norm purchased this sweet cat. This is not vintage. It was a card. Very cute. But that was sweet of him to come home with that for me. Very nice. So I found this one at the Goodwill. I was so surprised. It's a really nice big one. I forget what it was, but it was a good deal. I've thrifted most of these. Yes, I do look in antique malls because you can probably find something pretty cool. We just found this valued at about $24 online, but this was in an antique mall for $9, Antique Mall of Rogers. And it looks like you could put a label across the middle there, and I tried to figure out what to do, but I just got this the other day and it's just too short a time frame. I told Norm I would really enjoy having that to put different colored paper straws in. You can buy them on Amazon. Michael's is supposed to have them, but everybody's out of everything, so I had to order just the other colors. A month ago, I found these really sweet vintage black and white striped tumblers. I just love them. That's all they had. Would have been fun to have maybe 2 more, so it would be a nice set if I ever wanted to resell them, but they're pretty cool. Norm bought this and surprised me with this Fiesta ware cat Halloween picture. I forget what they call all their round pictures. There's a name for it, but I don't collect any Fiesta. I mean, it was a real surprise that he did that. That was very sweet. He's always surprising me with something, right? I thrifted this cute little honey pot. It actually had the wooden spoons still in it. I love these old harvest gold ceramic pieces made in Japan. Just love them. I think they're really fun for fall. Even in March, to have a lot of gold is fun. I showed this last year, the fun tin with the butterflies on it. It's got a white knob handle on the lid, but I just found this in Paynesville, Minnesota. I'm just going to put the name off to the side to tell you where I found this. But it was $6, I think. Marked on the bottom that it is by Carnation. And I looked it up when I was in the store. Carnation Coffee Mate. I don't see any date, but I did look it up. I guess they're saying it's rare, and one person in particular is asking a ridiculous price for it. So of course I showed that to Norm to make his eyes light up like, oh, interesting. Yeah, so I'm happy that I found that for $6 even in a thrift store. That would be a good deal. You've seen these 2 porcelain mugs before. I just love them. They do have one owl on the other side. This was a new find. I was so excited about this sweet owl. I can't remember where it was. It did not have a spoon. I tried a black plastic spoon, which was fairly deep if you were going to scoop coffee out of it. This one also is fine to use a clear one. I don't know what kind of a spoon that would have come with. I actually didn't look it up. But it's, it's Japan, and the head, or the neck, I should say, is lined with cork, so it does seal nicely. If you picked it up, the head would not fall off. So that was a very fun addition to the owls that I've been looking for several years now. A lot of different types of little owls. And you can often find them in thrift stores, like little toothpick holders that are souvenirs. They might have a city on them, printed on them, like Las Vegas or something. So that is a coffee pot, as I've mentioned, from my brother's house. I just love it. And this was my parents' toaster, which I have shared with you. I'm thrilled to have it. I also just recently thrifted 2 of these really soft jack-o'-lantern placemats. They're fairly thick. I typically pick up smaller things like this that are just fun, really cheap at the thrift stores for the countertop here, just to, protect the countertop a little bit. So we do use them. I like those, so I have one on each side of the sink. So let's go over to this crazy wall of big pumpkins and Pyrex. This was the kookiest ceramic spoon caddy I've ever seen, and we found it for $10 at the Pink Squirrel sale in September. We did not go this month. That could be hobbyist. I don't remember, but it was a splurge for $10, but wow, that's just crazy. Couldn't resist that. So let's go just check out down here first. Start at the bottom. I have repeated casseroles on both sides and little thrifted pumpkin mugs with a little candle in it. I was happy to find those last year at a Family Pathways, I think in Princeton, Minnesota. My brother gave me the beautiful golden yellow casseroles, a lot of them he had, with the beautiful sunflower on top. Yeah, he had quite a collection, and I found both of these very unusual casserole dishes. I just love them. Pyrex, it is Pyrex. Over a period of several years at least, and one was from a thrift store many years ago actually. I've had these very crazy tins that we found many years ago, and I keep vintage cookie cutters and cupcake toppers, things like that, in those tins. And when I'm done with Halloween, I put all of the magnets that I have that are little on the refrigerator. That's what I store in those. So it's really nice. It's fun to have them to look at, but it's also nice that you can fill them full of so many little things. And you've seen that. I didn't end up with anything really to put on the bottom today, but I bought the bread thing from Michael's on sale, half price, a couple years ago. And I keep all my powdered sugar and brown sugar in there. Yep. My brother had this wonderful West Bend thermos coffee server at his house. And I found these 2 thermal mugs, I'm pretty sure, at a thrift store. I was very surprised. So it's just fun to put them together. There are some other thermos coffee servers on the other side. I purchased the 2 yellow Pyrex casseroles many years ago. I forgot to put the lid on that one. I do have lids. Managed to get the lid on that one. There's always something I forget. And again, the 2 sunflower small ones were from my brother. I just found this yesterday at Wild Vintage Collective for $4. And you will recognize the name, Susan Wingett. She made calendars, is all I know. I didn't realize. I mean, I had this mug decades ago. Well, at least a decade ago, when we had a huge collection of very big mugs. I did find this one at a thrift store. And then we decided to get rid of all of our big mugs. So, wouldn't you know, now that we're making videos, of course, so we can share with you, we're, picking up one here or there if we find it at a thrift store or an antique mall cheaply. That's a very nice one, made very well. So I thought that was a real deal. $4 at an antique mall, yeah. So that was an exciting find yesterday. I thrifted this little creamer, I think last year. Now, last year also, would you believe it was $5 for this California pottery? Not treasure craft. There's no mark on this. And I did look it up. This is a huge, heavy salt and pepper set. It was from the Hickston Schoolhouse in Hickston, Wisconsin last year. And it's in a video, I'm pretty sure. I put the little sparkly eye on them because it was just a dot and I was just bored with it. Sorry. But I thought it would be fun to just give them a little sparkly eye. So they're very, very kooky, but I knew I would have fun showing them to you for $5 for Halloween out here. Here's some more, the apothecaries or canister jars that I found, and the one in the middle is my newest find. And it was a real trick, feeding sticky licorice. What? No. What do you call that when you buy? See, I don't eat that. I needed it for. I wanted something tall. So they're weird, but it was a challenge getting those in there because they're limp and sticky. So I hope you like that look. And these are delicious, of course. I sorted them out again because I only wanted those colors. And they are delicious. Spice drops. Really like those. These are also pretty good. They're by Tootsie Rolls, and I will use this for the kids when they come to the door. I sorted out the colors. There's 4 different flavors. Yeah, they're really good. Like pumpkin spice. And these were the other colors. And they're also good. Just different flavors. There's an apple something one, and yeah, I was a little impressed, and I don't even like Tootsie Rolls. These are really good. Orange flavored. Oh yes, I snitch one of those once in a while. I found these in Hutchinson at the Treasure Shed, this adorable ghost salt and pepper set, a year ago at least. The Treasure Shed. Yep. I've had this adorable little Hong Kong cup for a very long time. But this was a new find. Isn't that fun? Those are mushrooms down on the base of the tree, of course. That is so fun. Lee, 1983. And I'm pretty sure this was also from Wild Vintage Collective. I think it was $10, but it was worth it to me. I've never seen that before. How could I resist that? Never seen before. That's kind of a clue that obviously as many years as we've been looking around, it's a pretty rare item, I suppose. But odd that it would be if it's hobbyist. You'd think there'd be a lot more. And I just found this year. I think it was this year, early, or it could have been late last year. And I doubt that's hobbyist. I thrifted this tall one at Goodwill last year. Yeah, tall server for, I don't know, cold, hot, whatever you want. And my brother had this beauty. Also, I'm sure West Bend. Yeah, he had a lot of very nice things in his basement on shelving, thinking he would be selling them at an antique mall that he was in for many years. But the antique mall did close up eventually. But he kind of got out of the business when we were in a recession many years ago. Well, I weakened and decided to buy these 2 tall thermos tumblers from Siren, Wisconsin, the Siren Antique Mall. We had been there a couple months ago. So I thought these were just too fun. Really liked them. Up here, I found this crazy sugar bowl a year ago, and I don't even know if I've shared it with you yet. I kind of don't think so. It was something I thought I would show in March, and I probably found it late last year. So I'm deciding to show all my golden items that I may have saved for March decor. It's green and gold, so that's really appropriate. But I'm assuming it's a sugar bowl, and it's probably Japan. I don't think I've seen a creamer. I've seen the same one at Wild Vintage Collective as this. So I don't know if there's something that goes with it. Probably. And thrifted this a long time ago. Thrifted these 2 a long time ago. What's really cool about these, they are hobbyist, and I've seen them around in different color schemes. You know, like maybe more grayish, but I love these. I've always loved these. They're so weird. And the owl face is on both sides, so that's why I can turn them opposite here. Very cool. And I just thrifted these little wine goblets. I'm assuming they're small. They're valuable, and they were $1.99 or something like that at the Goodwill by us this summer. And they are black. They're pretty popular. They're very heavy. You know where they were at the Goodwill? In the candle section. Can you believe it? That's why they didn't charge much for them. They must have thought they were votives. So lucky me. Yeah, they're pretty nice for $1.99. And I thought, well, this is cool because I thrifted this set last year at Bibles for Missions, which is now Legacy Thrift, for it was like $1.49 for the set, something like that. It was absolutely ridiculous price for vintage milk glass. That was thrilling. I knew I would use it for Halloween. This was purchased at Wild Vintage Collective, and I did share it with you, I believe, last year. I don't know if it was in the spring I showed this to you, but that is such a neat set. I also don't recall, though, antique mall or thrift shop. I just don't know, but this is really a cool, mean looking owl, isn't it? Very funny. Let me see if I can tell anything. Oh, not a hobbyist piece. Made in Canada. Yeah. Well, I didn't pay a lot for it, believe me. I wouldn't. I would not buy that if it was $20. I just wouldn't. And I've seen some pieces like that in antique shops. I think I even seen the exact one, and they wanted a lot for it. So I'm pretty sure I was very fortunate when I found that. So I hope you're not asleep yet. I hope I'm talking fast, but there's a lot to cover here, and at least this time I split up the dining room video and this one, so it wasn't twice as long. Yeah, this will be long enough. I love finding these really different textures, colors. Some I just can get a candle in there underneath, like that one, and of course I love these, like I said, with the lid on them. And who knows which one's our hobbyist? Who knows? But it doesn't matter to me. I just love all the different faces. You may recall in last year's Halloween video in the living room, or it may have just been the one before that, but I did put these across the top shelf over the fireplace, and I had less of them. But since then, we have found more. This one is really done so nicely. This may be my newest one. Such a fun, happy face. I like the eyes. Love, love this one. Look at that texture. That is so cute to me. Oh, I just love it. This one was very fun to find a year ago. Oh, so cool. Yep. Do you see ones at the thrift stores that have a kid's name on it? Well, I assume it's a kid. You wouldn't believe the one I found at the Goodwill a week ago. Oh my goodness, I took a picture of it. I'll have to show it to you. I can't even think of it perfectly, what the word is, but I'll show you a picture of it. It was such a cool pumpkin. This one was from Wild Vintage Collective. Yep. You could put black votives in there and it might be spooky. You could put white votives in there and it could be very appropriate looking. But a pumpkin is orange inside. So this year I did it less spooky with all the orange votives. So I hope you like this. I'm really enjoying these being out here. And when I thrifted one more, it was this year, it was like this big one. It was difficult to, squeeze them all in, but I managed to squeeze them all on. So let's go look at the Pyrex up there. I need to put my arms down for a little bit and rest them.
Hi everyone, it's Norm. Peggy's been working so hard getting this kitchen set up that she is exhausted. And she's getting tired of holding the camera, to be honest with you, so I told her I'd come up and do it for her. So I'll try to hold it nice and steady, and she'll do the talking, and I'll just stand around looking
funny,
handsome.
The one on the end was new a year ago, and we were very happy to find that. I can't remember where it was, but it was really reasonable. Very reasonable. When you consider what they charge, like in Red Wing, they have tons of beautiful glassware, vintage glassware from the 50s, 60s, but they're like $30 some now. So when we find them for, 12 or under, it's very, very exciting if it's a nice one. So most of these we've had for quite a while, but this one coming up, the orange one, that is a brand new find. And I don't remember where that was either, but it was so cheap. I was just so thrilled. So that was a happy, happy find in orange for our Halloween and fall and even Easter too. It'll be very fun to use in the spring.
Good.
So that's what we have for the isolate pictures. And you've all seen above here in my other videos, so we really don't have to dwell on all my brother's wonderful gifted vintage crafts up there. I've shared the kitty cat canisters from the treasure shed. We actually had those in a video and it was my thumbnail. So that was fun. That was a year or two ago now.
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny when we found that.
Yeah. These two owl hotbed holders or key holder. The lucite one down below we've had for many, many years. And that could be for keys or whatever, but I decided to put a couple of really fun hot pads, pot holders on them. They're very small ones. Those are not your average size. They're really tiny. And that owl is probably Miller's Studio chalkware. We've had that for a long time too. So I thought you'd enjoy seeing a couple more owls. And I can't have Halloween without my thrifted pot holders in all different shapes and different types of material. The one in the upper left that was so crazy was suede, ultra suede. There's corduroy, 2 corduroy ones, and very, very nicely done, either, what you'd call applique sewing. Yeah, I just love them. I wish I could find more. I would make room for them on the refrigerator, but I just don't find them. They were so cheap and typically from Bibles for Missions, but I just don't know why I don't see them. These plastic canvas ghosts are new this year, as well as that little jack-o'-lantern with a witch's hat on was mixed in between some things in a little baggie from this year from Family Pathways. And the ghosts, there were like 5 ghosts, and maybe they're meant to be coasters, but they all had the magnet on them already, so that was great. I love to put them on my refrigerator. So yeah, there were like 5 of them, but I didn't keep one of them. One of them had some stitches missing somewhere on the face and that, so I just thought, oh, I don't need 5 of them. So I kept 4.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even number.
Yep. So we do have some vintage. These are vintage cake toppers, which many of you have seen if you collect vintage cake items. Those 4 things are, what do you think, 50s? From the 50s? Maybe. These are the pot holders that I put up this year. Sometimes I find a new one, and I did put a little felt sticker on them. I had the Halloween sticker ones from at least 2 years ago or more. But this year I found a package, they're probably from the dollar store. I found a package of fall leaves because I didn't have enough Halloween ones. So that was fun, finding something extra to use on these really neat yellow, black, orange, brown, some white. So I really like putting those up too.
There are a lot of patterns. That's really...
Yeah, a lot of work goes into them. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, well, look at this one here.
Yeah, the 2 bottom ones, I was thrilled to find those. They're not identical. It's the same pattern, but they were not done identically. Well, yeah, it looks like the same pattern. I don't know, it's very similar anyways. But it's kind of fun that those stickers just stick on lightly. Don't have to press them on hard. Well, I can pretty much handle the rest of this because I won't have my arms up over my head, except for this little bit here. I just put some of the extra magnets. These two are new this year, I believe. The one on the left is a little brooch, but I did put a magnet behind it, of course, to stick into the pin part. It works. But I have shared this before with you. This is new, of course. Isn't that cute? It only blinks for a little bit and then stops. I do have a few more odds and ends of some of my favorite things. That's a little lucite owl that had a magnet glued on the back of it. But they also made little night lights, the same owl. And I've had this for many, many years, and I have shared it with you before, but it's adorable. Yeah, Hong Kong, probably. Anoka, Minnesota is very close to us. And you know they are considered the Halloween capital of the world. So every year they come out with a button. So we found this one a couple years back at least. And it's not their 88th year. This year it's higher than that. And I shared this with you last year too. I thought it was really sweet. I think I glued some strips of magnet on the back so I could stick it on my fridge. There's the other ghost. So I've had this jar for quite a while. Norm does like candy corn. He doesn't eat a lot of it, but he does like it. I would rather eat it with peanuts. I've had this vintage napkin holder for several years now. These are really fun, aren't they? Yeah, that's really mod. Very 60s looking. And I just found this little thermos. I thought it was really sweet. It says thermos on the top. Thermos brand. And I just purchased this adorable mushroom set that I'm sure I will show if I do a mushroom themed kitchen. I have a lot of mushroom stuff. A lot of it's from my brother. But when I saw this at Rogers Antique Mall just last week, I couldn't believe it. I have a video of me picking it up that I was going to post as a YouTube short, but I haven't done that yet. Wonderful condition and just really hard to resist tins when you find them like that. And I think a wonderful price too for the condition that it's in compared to what I was seeing on the internet. I've had this for a couple years. I thrifted it. It's just a little adorable souvenir. Got it at the Goodwill, I'm sure. Or maybe it was Bethesda Thrift that I found that last year. So cute. I can't resist those. I've had 2 of these little tins. They're candles inside for quite a few years. Just thrifted this last year. It is colored different than the 2 of them that I showed you, just like it, that are more caramel colors and a browner handle. This one is a lighter orange with the green handle. And that's what I have out for my collection of recipe boxes that I just love hunting for. Don't find them very much. If I do find one, I either already have it or it's not in very good condition. But I've been fortunate to find some very nice ones. Trying to see. This one was from Duluth, I believe. Yep, Father Time. Looks pretty weird to have baloney on the front of your... Oh my. Yeah, Hillshire Farm. So that's pretty fall looking. I'm happy to have the ones I found. Over here, we've shared this before. I love it. I think I got that in Wells, Minnesota, at a very big antique mall there that we've filmed, put out could be 2 or 3 videos on that place. We really love going there. I've had this for quite a while. I thought I would put it out because of all the owls, brown owls that I'm showing. Another nice spoon caddy or spoon rest. It's fun to hang up too. These are new purchase. I confess, I painted the eyes more golden yellow. I think they were just brown, and the toes. I wanted to dress it up a little bit. They're in very nice condition, and I don't recall where I got them, but I'm very happy I did find them. I don't see too many nice sets like that, really. Not that many, but I was lucky this year. I did get a couple of sets. The other pair is up on the shelf above me. This is a very nice hot pad. It's really big, and I'm purposely covering up that burner. Norm uses that burner every morning, making bacon and eggs. And as you can see, the white speckly part starts wearing from all the scrubbing that I have to do. Yeah, so we've had this stove for a long time, but it's still working, so we're gonna keep using it till it stops. This was a splurge. This was from Cannon Falls a couple weeks back or more. Just love it. It is so fall, and just love that orange lid. That is so Halloween looking to me, so I couldn't resist. And Norm thought it was pretty cool too. Pretty nice condition. So that was fun from a trip down there a couple weeks back or so. So this is what is up here. Some more of your fun little brown Japan ceramic pieces. Another little sweet toothpick holder, and I think I thrifted that too. I thrifted these adorable pumpkins, hobbyist, I think. You can't get a votive in them. They're just too small. Absolutely love them. The fact that this one has ears is so funny. The other one over here does not. But what's so cute too is that they have freckles. I hope that's focusing okay. Yeah, there you go. So cute. And I was really thrilled to find this adorable little girl owl egg separator. Isn't this unique? You crack an egg in the top and it's gonna hold the yolk back. I've never seen that before. That was exciting to me. Pretty little item, but just so sweet when you're collecting a bunch of owl stuff. Now this was also, I think I thrifted it. It didn't have the spoons. I found a set of these spoons that are supposed to be lemons at Goodwill. They're brand new, but I knew with those tiny little handles they had that it would work in here. I think that's so fun. Googly eyes, spooning for you in Niagara Falls. That's so cute. Definitely Japan. So you could turn the spoons around too. I tried different ways. I really didn't know which way you're supposed to have them, but it probably doesn't matter. I was just happy to find the little spoons at Goodwill last month or so. And these are the tins that I've been collecting for a couple years now. I've gotten so thrilled because of this vintage reticulated metal spice rack. You can't get too many tins on them. You can get a lot of small glass jars that are like milk glass ones. So I did buy a whole set of milk glass ones from an antique mall that has a black rooster on them. So you can fit a lot of those on there, but not these tins. Yeah, they just take up a lot more space. So this is the other set where he's sitting on a stump, so they're pretty tall, and I thought it would be fun to sit them on these thrifted tiny sconces I found at maybe Family Pathways. I don't recall. A year ago, I guess. So there's your salt. And I painted around the eyes, and I put the eyelashes on them. I don't recall if I painted the beak and the toes, but the paint had worn off. There was nothing around the eyes, and the paint had worn off of their eyes. So there was one of these that didn't have eyelashes. Yeah, it just had completely come off because it was extra painted on. So I'm happy with them looking more fallish. I really like them. Sorry about the angle. You get a kind of a crazy angle with the camera trying to take in so much, a broad view. So sometimes it makes my candle tapers look tilted on the dining room table. That always drives me crazy. So let's go over and look at a bunch of silly stuff over here too. So here's the other little jack-o'-lantern thrifted placemat, Goodwill. This was at my brother's house. He had a lot of copper things that he had collected for many years. Isn't this funny? It's got a wire you lift up. See, really thin wires. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen such a gadget for slicing a hard-boiled egg. There's no identification that I can find. You never know, it could be a Miro product. Not really sure. But he had this too, and I have shared this with you before. It's so sweet. A little grease holder, and it does have a stainless strainer sitting on the top, inset in the top there that you can remove too. I found this at least a year ago at the Pink Squirrel sale. Absolutely love this black milk glass, very heavy pitcher. I knew that I would be using it for a utensil holder, and I'm in love with colorful plastic utensils, so I actually collect them. My favorite is when I can find these with the very skinny handles. They are actually pricier. It's melamine, and a lot of them are vintage. But of course I couldn't resist not putting some thrifted salad forks that are the skeleton hands. The fourth one is in the vase on the dining room table that I showed you in the previous video. Yep, that's why there's only 3 there. My brother also had this very nice condition copper sifter. That might be marked somewhere. Well, see, this says Miro. That's what makes me think of it, I guess. This was also his. Very nice condition. So I was happy to receive those from him, and this beautiful set that he had on display in his kitchen up high. He wasn't using it. All of his copper things were displayed way up high on shelving around 2 walls in his kitchen. It's in really, really nice condition, except for a couple of the lids, the bigger ones. Norm did need to spray paint them. They were starting to get chippy. And I purchased that at the Pink Elephant in Hopkins, Minnesota. The nut grinder chopper. It was so fun because it had the orange top. I have one that I thrifted that has a white top, but this one was more fun. This I have shown sitting over under the shelving on that big rack under the shelving. I thrifted the mixer, I think for $10 maybe. It's in really good condition and, you know, tan and brown with the beaters and everything, but it didn't have the bowl. And I thought, that's okay, I'll just put a cute Pyrex bowl there. I may have shared these with you before too. They're looking yellow, but they're actually pumpkin orange. I think this might have been from a relative's house. It says apple bombs, food markets. I don't know if you ever had any in your state, but that was a local grocery store for us way back when we were kids, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember any history about that, but very definitely a vintage set of spoons with the cute flower top on it. So I thought I would just share those again, even if I had before. I've had that tray for many years. I believe I thrifted that also. It could be like a Target one, maybe. And you've seen my brother's beautiful Osterizer blender. I hear Norm coming back. He's bringing me some dinner. I'm starving. I've shown this adorable nylon jack-o'-lantern treat bucket, I assume, candy bucket, a couple of years maybe. I just love it. It's so lightweight and it's just so fun to put some lights in there and little fall leaves. So I hope you like that. It's really sweet. I love putting it in the same place. I shared this kitty window decoration, kind of stained glass look, I guess they call it. Hong Kong, probably, who knows, Taiwan, I don't know when they were made, but they're maybe even still making them, but I think it's definitely vintage. I found some others over the years too. They're really cute. I thrifted the fall leaf one there, and this votive with the pumpkins on it, that's a lot simpler, and the one with the leaves on it there, I think, along with the Thanksgiving one that says Happy Thanksgiving on it. The one on the end I have had for maybe a couple Halloweens now. This is a new purchase from, I believe, did we find this one at Rogers Antique Mall? I think so. And the reason why I wanted to get it, look at those eyelashes. Can you believe that? That's nuts. I think some people got carried away. So he's got a glove up on one side of his head and down there, and I thrifted her leaning the other direction, and she's got little white polka dot gloves. So that was a very happy find this year. Now this is the last piece from Donna that Marla painted. This one has a sculptured top on it that goes up and over its eyebrows, so it's not the rounded top that the other one had, but they are made similar. So I saved that one for the kitchen window and just put some little bit of spooky stuff in it. I love black twigs. And this is the last item. It may be a cake topper piece, but I found this several years ago. It's so thin, very thin. That's why I think it might be. I have no idea. But we just hang it up with nylon fishing line in the window because it really does light it up during the day very nicely. It's going to be really cold by the weekend. So Norm's going to shut the pond down because it requires sticking your arms down in ice cold water. So he's not going to wait till November. We're talking 20s and snow possible even. So anyways, this is the shed. It's very fun this year with a new lit jack-o'-lantern with a crazy striped hat on. We've had this scarecrow for quite a while. He's really cute. Norm put a floodlight on him so people can see him from the street because they can see through the side of our fence to the backyard. They can see the whole shed. And he has yellow and orange, every other one, lights on the shed. And I love our great big fat jack-o'-lantern windsock. We thrifted that too a couple years ago. It was like 25-mile-an-hour gusts, they said. So he was flying like crazy, but I really love him. So Norm wants to wish you a happy Halloween, and I do too. We sure appreciate you. I hope you had fun, and I hope your Halloween is very fun too. Bye-bye.